A man had just returned home after a night out with his wife, unaware that danger was quietly closing in. As he turned into his driveway, a mysterious car appeared behind him and came to a sudden stop, blocking his path. The moment he realized he was being followed, panic set in, and he attempted a desperate U-turn, but it was too late. Armed men jumped out of the unknown vehicle, their presence cold and commanding, and ordered him to step out. Fearing for his life, he cooperated without hesitation. In an instant, he was kidnapped, leaving his wife frozen in shock, unable to comprehend what had just unfolded. The kidnappers didn't steal the car, their target was him, and their plan was terrifyingly precise. After finishing his grocery shopping, a man was carefully unloading his groceries from the cart into his car, completely unaware of the danger approaching. Two men walked up, politely asking if they could use the cart once he was done. The man, unsuspecting, handed it over, not realizing that their intentions were far from innocent. In a swift and calculated move, they began transferring most of his groceries into the cart, keeping his attention while one of them subtly scanned his car, checking for any occupants or signs of protection. Once the groceries were seemingly moved, they handed the cart to the accomplice, who started pushing it back toward the store. But the plan had only just begun. As the man returned to his car, the first thief suddenly opened the passenger door, gun pointed, demanding compliance. Frozen with fear, the man had no choice but to obey. Just then, the accomplice who had been pushing the trolley returned, sliding into the passenger seat. Before he could react further, the man was forcefully taken, kidnapped right from his own car, leaving a chilling reminder of how quickly everyday routines can turn deadly. He had just pulled into his driveway after a night out, expecting nothing more than a quiet evening. But as he parked, he noticed a car silently creeping up behind him, and an uneasy feeling settled in his chest. Before he could react, armed men jumped out and began violently hitting his car window with their firearms. The sound of metal smashing against glass echoed through the night, and within seconds, the window burst open. A man had just returned home after a night out with his wife, unaware that danger was quietly closing in. As he turned into his driveway, a mysterious car appeared behind him and came to a sudden stop, blocking his path. The moment he realized he was being followed, panic set in, and he attempted a desperate U-turn, but it was too late. Armed men jumped out of the unknown vehicle, their presence cold and commanding, and ordered him to step out. A man had just arrived at his workplace and stepped out of his car to clear the parking area, expecting an ordinary start to the day. As he worked, a group of men slowly approached from different directions, and at first, he assumed they were just other people walking by. But the moment they got close, one of them suddenly pulled out a gun and pointed it directly at him. Terrified, he had no choice but to comply. His wife, witnessing the scene from the car, opened the door and began shouting for help, but the other men quickly silenced her. In an instant, both the man and his wife were forced into the stranger's control. The couple was kidnapped, leaving what had started as a normal day turned into a nightmare of fear, chaos, and uncertainty. A man had just parked his car in a busy lot when he noticed a few suspicious figures nearby. Before he could react, one of them pulled out a gun, and the others surrounded him. Terrified, he was forced into a waiting vehicle. What started as a normal day instantly became a nightmare, leaving him trapped and powerless in the crowded parking lot. A man was driving his supercar, enjoying the road, when suddenly an unknown car appeared head-on in front of him. Before he could react, another vehicle blocked him from behind. Shocked and frozen, he couldn't move. In an instant, armed men jumped out of both cars. They yanked open his door, and as he tried to run, he was caught immediately. What should have been a normal drive turned into a terrifying nightmare, leaving him completely at the mercy of the strangers. A woman was waiting outside her house for her Uber when an unknown man suddenly approached and greeted her. At first, it seemed harmless, but suspicion grew as the man started walking toward her house. Just then, a vehicle resembling an Uber arrived. As she opened the car door, the man quietly followed behind her. Suddenly, he lunged, trying to push her into the vehicle. Terrified, the woman fought back and screamed at the top of her lungs. Startled and unable to control the situation, the man quickly retreated, leaving her shaken but unharmed. What should have been a routine ride ended in a chilling encounter that could have turned deadly. A woman was walking peacefully through a petrol station when, out of nowhere, a man lunged at her, attempting to kidnap her. Terrified but determined, she fought back with all her strength, struggling tooth and nail as he tried to lift her into his vehicle. Her fierce resistance caught the attacker off guard, and in a dramatic turn, she managed to escape, narrowly avoiding a terrifying fate. What should have been an ordinary visit to the petrol station turned into a life-or-death struggle, and her courage saved her.